Did we just become best friends? Yep. Did we just become best friends? Did we just become best friends?
Hello, requesties. It's me, your host, Chloe Maddren. Welcome back. Today I have a great episode in store for you guys. I hope you're enjoying the brand new fort. I hope you're enjoying the brand new studio. I sure am. I love it so much. It's so comfy and fun. I love being able to sit on a couch. I love being able to not have to clean my entire house for hours before every single record. And I love getting these gorgeous guests in your ears. So thank you for listening. Once again, I'm really excited to be back. I recently, on last week's episode, put up a quote from the episode and asked people to send in their best guesses for a super special shout out. So I wanted to start today's episode by shouting out the favorite. The best one that I heard was from a beautiful listener named Jason. The quote being, that's illegal, so, and me saying, that's what I mean. People are weird about it. Jason wrote, is this your podcast or Elon talking to Trump? Very funny. Very good answer. No one actually guessed what the context was, and silly because you could have just gone and listened to it and cheated and found out what it was. But I respect people's honesty. Anyway, I also wanted to give a little shout out to a few listeners. Actually, just a listener, sorry, Barbara. Barbara, I love you, girlie. So I have only just figured out how to find the comments on the Spotify app. I'm so sorry. It's taken me a little while. I'm learning. But I was so scared. I saw the comments at like 3 a.m. I figured out how to do it and I was like, brace yourself, Chloe. What if they're mean? And they weren't. You guys were all just so lovely. And Barbara, I wanted to say I love you. Girlie, you're so sweet. Thank you for all of your kind words. It made me feel really good in my heart. So that is, that's a new feature. If you do want to get a little shout out, make a little comment on the Spotify, comment on the, in the reviews, obviously. You can submit a review, comment on YouTube, do whatever the heck you want. I'd love to shout you out. I really appreciate you guys for listening. So say hello. If you do have any friend dilemmas, dramas, need any advice or anything like that, please do feel free to email me at thefriendrequestpodcast@gmail.com and I can read your story with my guest. We can let you know what we think of what's going on in your world. Otherwise, just enjoy today's episode. I am so excited to say that I was joined by the wonderfully, stupidly talented stunt person, director, writer, actor sometimes, the lovely Nash Edgerton. I have a new box of Icebreakers. Do you want to pick an icebreaker?
Sure.
It's just a cute
little...
Oh,
right. Like, yeah, cool.
Yeah. Pick a card. It's going to be full someday, but I've only had so many ideas,
Yeah.
And then I'll ask you, what does it say? I can read it.
If you could wish any inanimate object...
Inanimate object.
Oh, inanimate.
There we go, yeah.
I haven't got my glasses on. If you could wish any inanimate object to life, what would it be? Oh.
What do you think?
Probably one of my daughter's toys, because then,
Ooh.
Like maybe she's got a Stitch toy that she hangs out with all the time.
Yeah, you think she'd enjoy it being alive? Well, I guess
totally.
Who doesn't want a real Stitch?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, and also just to see what it knows that she gets up to.
Yeah, okay. You want it to be a little spy for yourself?
Oh, I'm just curious.
Okay,
Yeah.
All right. Good choice. Thank you. I was just listening to a scary story about a Buzz Lightyear doll that apparently said the child's mother's name.
Really?
Like in front of the mum and other people, a bunch of witnesses. So
That's not
it's not programmed in there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, terrifying.
Yeah.
I don't know. A kid's toy is too it's too close to.
It just said the
so
name.
many
It didn't
scary
say.
movies. It
Didn't
said,
give any instructions. Or anything?
No. It said because it's programmed to say the air is clean or the air is breathable here.
Yeah.
But it said, Ruth, the air is breathable here. Apparently, it also had no batteries in it.
Yeah,
Very
right.
scary. But Stitch would be cute.
Did they keep the doll?
No, they got rid of it. They gave it to a neighbour, and then the neighbour, they saw them throwing it out like a week after.
Yeah.
Spooky. Thanks for coming into the fort. I really appreciate it.
It's okay.
How you doing over there?
It's pretty comfy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Good, good. Let me know if you want the aircon on. It's pretty hot.
Let's see, and see how it goes.
Okay, all right. I found it really funny when I was talking to my sister about having you on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
You know, obviously I was excited. I was walking through the grocery store and she's like, how do you know Nash Edgerton? And I'm like, well, I met him at Ben Lee's house, and I just felt like a crazy person saying that as someone, as a young lady with nothing to my name. It was a very cool and hilarious, strange way to meet someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people meet at Ben Lee's house.
Yeah, he seems to bring a lot of people together.
Yeah.
He's doing a wonderful service for the community.
Yeah.
But it is nice to have you here. You said before that you're not sure what you're in for. It's just a silly little podcast about friendship, largely.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess I want to start by asking you what you were like as a kid.
Oh,
Oh.
I feel like I answered that to my psychiatrist the other day.
Okay. So some trauma.
What was I like as a kid? I don't know. I probably had a lot of energy.
Yeah.
I jumped off and out of a lot of things.
Oh yeah,
and
nice.
a lot of climbing, jumping, and
Yeah.
running and sport, and yeah, I was very active.
Okay. That sounds like some pretty typical boy stuff as well.
Pretty sure I got, have some class clown stuff in my,
Oh, okay.
probably in some of my report cards or something.
Like possibly would have been diagnosed with ADHD if you're a kid now.
Well, that's what I was diagnosed with by a psychiatrist last week.
Oh my God, congratulations.
Oh, thank you, yeah.
I got my diagnosis late last year.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, I guess like people have said I'm on the spectrum, and and it was like assumed that I probably have it, but I only officially got checked
Yeah, wow.
last week. And then you realise that pretty much anyone you gravitate towards also has it.
Yeah, you're like, I'm pretty sure I'm normal because everyone I hang out with is the same.
Yeah. The most interesting thing that was said about it was when he said, like people who don't have it, they have like one thought at a time.
Yeah.
And like that was mind-blowing to me. Like I can't even fathom that.
Nope, me neither.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was doing the intake form with my mum because she had to answer a bunch of questions about what I was like as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
And she just kept being like, well, that's normal. That's normal. That's normal as hell. And I'm like, Mum, I don't think that you're a good litmus test here. And where do you think it came from?
Yeah.
Damn. It's very exciting.
Yeah, it was exciting. I said to him, what were some of the things I said that indicated that I had ADHD?
Mm-hmm.
He goes, well, kind of everything, but that question, my reaction to that statement about people having one thought at a time and that their thoughts are linear was telling.
Yeah.
And then just like everything that I did as a kid, all the impulse stuff.
Yeah. Were you surrounded by like-minded people as a kid as well?
Well, I guess. Well, they're the ones you kind of gravitate towards as friends. I guess now I'm realizing, But yeah, you just think, well, that's just the way.
Of course.
People are, or things are.
Yeah.
But yeah, the impulse stuff, like when you say that was I like as a kid, I guess, when I said I jumped off a lot of things, like I would go, oh, I wonder if I can do that, and I would just do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you have been considered like naughty by teachers or parents?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But I was a good student. Like I liked school.
Yeah. Okay. That's good.
I was good at maths and science and stuff like that. But yeah, I was probably naughty sometimes. I probably still am sometimes.
I don't know. I don't know about you, but I would assume, given your work, that it's kind of helpful having this perspective. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, look, I definitely channeled the energy, the
chaotic energy.
Yeah, and the hyperactivity and the impulse stuff into a career doing stunts. And, when I first left school. So that, I guess, probably made sense, looking back at it.
Totally.
And, like I don't probably have the same impulse stuff that I had when I was a kid, but
well, your brain's fully developed, so.
Yeah, and I have an understanding of consequence now, which
Yeah.
I wouldn't have had when I was younger. And I have, like, I guess through doing stunts learnt to assess risk, which you don't assess when you're a kid.
Of course. Jeez. So wait, when you were growing up, did you think stunts before directing or acting or anything?
I guess so.
Damn.
Well, the stunts, like I guess I made some stuff when I was younger with a video camera a lot, but I wasn't thinking. Well, I didn't even think that getting in the film industry was an option for me, or like like it was before the internet. I didn't know how to look up that stuff. I didn't know that it was a real job.
Totally fair. It still barely is for so many people in this country.
Yeah, and it wasn't until you have to like think about what you're going to do with your life that I got the idea to be a stuntman.
Okay.
By hearing a story that someone said stunt in, and then I looked up stunts in the phone book. And
seriously?
Yeah, and I found one phone number for an agency that represented stunt people and called them.
Damn.
But it wasn't like when I went to, you get your careers advice at school and you talk about stuff.
You're like, so I've jumped off the A block. I've jumped off the D block. I can do it.
Yeah, it wasn't like an option that was presented to me.
No, of course.
So I did electrical engineering for the first year.
Yeah, right. Damn, okay.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. And so you call up in the phone book.
Yeah.
Was there any kind of training, or did they just say?
They told me how hard it was to get into and not to bother. And but if I, because I was 18, I think.
Yeah.
And they said, write a letter of what your, physical history is, or like sporting background, that sort of stuff. So I did that, and I next day drove in to where the office was and to hand it in person. And I was just like a persistent kid, because now discovering I have ADHD. Once you have an idea
you're
of something,
focused.
well, yeah, once you have an idea of what you're going to do, you don't give up. You know. So I just called every week.
Yeah, okay. That's
What do I do now? What do I do now?
I love that.
And then eventually the lady there said, look, there's a stunt coordinator doing a film in Sydney that I could go visit the set. And it was a film by Yahoo Serious called Reckless Kelly.
Yeah, okay.
Which was his follow-up to Young Einstein. And I went on the set of that. It was down in the city. They were doing like a shootout outside of a bank, and they were blowing up a car, and I met some other stunt people. I met that stunt coordinator, and then I got their numbers, and then I called. And I would hang out, call them, and found out they were going training at this police boys club in Glebe, and I would go down there with them.
That's awesome.
But this was all like unbeknownst to my parents. And the only person I told was my brother, who was still in high school.
Yeah, okay.
And I was just like, whenever I could get on a film set, I would ditch uni and go do that.
Awesome.
And just make coffee and hang out. And
right.
carry pad bags. And
God, it's still alive today, but I feel like that kind of just being able to get in amongst it and hang out and talk to people aspect to all of the entertainment industries is harder to do these days, because things are more secure. Like people are a little bit more worried about crazy people being around, as they should be.
Yeah.
But that's such a cool way to just make your own opportunities.
Yeah, I think if you're determined to do something, you find a way.
Yeah, totally.
And the film industry, I think, is full of those type of people who, because it's not something you just go into lightly, I think, if you are someone who's going to stick at it.
Yeah.
And there's no set way to get into the film industry, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone comes in with different skill sets and backgrounds, and they come in at different ages, and
pretty similar with comedy, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just People ask that all the time when they start, like, how exactly should I do this? And it's like, I mean,
There's no set way.
just do it.
Yeah.
Just do whatever you think.
Yeah.
Wow. Had your brother had any thoughts of getting into the film industry himself by that point? Or was he basically just seeing
so.
you?
Like, we'd both done like performance stuff at
Yeah.
school a bit.
Yeah, okay.
I guess he'd seen a play, I think it was The Crucible he saw
Yeah.
in high school, and then that made him want to study drama.
Yeah, okay.
But I think even right up until he left school, before he went to Nepean, which is where he did a Bachelor of Arts.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing, like, I think if I knew there was film school, I probably would have gone there, but I didn't. It wasn't something that I knew of.
Of course.
But I think him seeing that sort of sparked an interest in that. But he was also thinking about just doing an arts degree in general.
Yeah, okay. I am curious about this because I feel like with a lot of people who are, close friends even, but siblings especially, who are in the same industry, there can often be this competitive nature.
Yeah.
I know even just when I was growing up, I was doing music for like my whole childhood, training and theatre stuff and everything like that. And when my sister was a teenager, she wanted to do singing lessons.
Yeah.
And she asked me, she was like, am I allowed to do singing lessons? I know it's your thing.
Am I allowed?
I know. I was
Yeah.
like, what the hell, dude? No, of course. Please,
Yeah.
you have a beautiful
So
voice.
she's younger, obviously.
No, she was older,
Oh, she was
actually.
older.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just that something I knew that I loved performing and
Yeah.
wanted to sing or do anything like that from really, really little.
Yeah.
But by that point, she kind of thought that it was like my thing and that I might feel, I
Yeah,
don't know.
right. And
Yeah.
did you?
No, not at all. I wanted her to do whatever the heck she wanted. And yeah, I find it interesting though, because I went to a school of arts, and so there were a few people where the whole family's in it, and it was kind of competitive, especially with acting.
Yeah.
Like there were, I don't know, a lot of weird vibes going on. But by the sounds of it, you and your brother didn't really have any relationship like that.
I don't think so. I didn't ever feel competitive.
That's so cool.
It feels very supportive. I think we also, like, one, we get on super well. Like,
Yeah.
we did all our fighting, got it out of the way before we were like 12 or something.
Oh, of course, you got to get it done.
And then, like, I think we have a very similar sense of humor
Mm-hmm.
and like a lot of the same things, but we have a different skill set that kind of complements each other.
Yeah.
Like, he's, does more acting and writing, although he started directing more lately as well. And I was doing stunts and editing and then directing.
Yeah.
And, but now we both do a bit of each other's
Yeah.
things, you
Yeah.
know, like, not that Joel really got into doing stunts, but he was in a live stunt show that I was in
Oh, cool.
when we were like 19 and 20
Yeah.
at Australia's Wonderland.
Awesome.
Because there was a guy in it that, you know, was one of the main, was playing the villain in this pirate, jet ski ninja pirate show that we were doing.
What?
And he'd learnt all the stuff, but then hadn't really told anyone that he was afraid of heights.
Oh.
And the end of the show, the guy had to fall off the top of the boat into the water, which was like 50 or 60 feet.
Oh.
And so then when they realised he couldn't do that part,
Yeah.
they needed someone else. And
Yeah.
I suggested my brother because I thought he'd be able to do that.
Damn.
And so he came in and did that show. And so he had a dabble of that then. And then just like through his acting, he's got to do a lot of physical
Of course. Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But like he never really got into being a stunt performer like
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
And then through doing stunts, I've, and from making short films that I was in, I started getting cast in things. So I do a bit of acting sometimes, but it's not something I've ever actively pursued
Yeah, right.
like he has.
Yeah, okay.
And then I write sometimes, but I feel like he's a much more disciplined writer than I am.
Right.
But then, he started having more of an interest in directing, which I encouraged.
Yeah.
And I think he's a really talented director. And then we've done stuff where we've been sort of running a set together.
Yeah.
Well, if he's
That's
acting in a
fun.
film, he'll get me to come and run the sets so he can concentrate on the character
Yeah,
while
okay.
he's in front of camera.
Yeah. Is that what drew you to directing? From the
Well,
stunt work, it feels like.
It started early on, mainly that my idea, when I started trying to get stunt work, you know, I was training with the stunt people I met, and then I was like, how do you actually get a job? You know, like, and at some point I saw that people had show reels, you know, like actors have show reels, stunt people have show reels, and shows like, and the show reels are made up of clips of movies that they've worked on. And I thought, well, how do you get a job if you need a show reel? And how do you get a show reel if you don't have a job? Because you need a job to have a clip from a movie that you worked on to make a show reel, and then you need the show reel to get a job. That was the logic in my brain, you know. So then I thought, okay, well then, but the show reels are only made of clips of movies. So if I just make up a movie and only shoot the clip I need for it, then I can make a show reel. And people will think I've worked on a movie. And so I got together with, you know, a friend who had, who was, you know, had been doing stunts a little bit longer than I had. And he had a video camera, and we would make little action sequences to put on our show reels.
Awesome.
And at the same time, my brother had finished drama school, you know, had done a bit of theatre, but was trying to get work as an actor on film and TV stuff.
Yeah.
And I said, well, maybe the same thing will work for you. Like, write a little scene, we'll make up the name of the movie, and we'll put it on your show reel. And so we started making these fake movie clips for our show reels.
That's so smart.
And then that turned into then making a short film. And even that, when we were making it, we didn't know what a short film was.
Yeah, okay.
And we were showing someone, and they were like, that's a great short film. And we're like, what's a short film?
Damn.
They're like, it's like a little movie, you know, and you enter a film festival. And we're like, what's a film festival?
Oh my God.
Because we were like, we didn't know anybody, and we were just like making this stuff with our friends. You know?
Yeah. How many minutes are we talking for these clips?
The clips were just like, you know, a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
But this one thing we started doing was, it had this whole action sequence for me and Tony, who was the other stunt performer. And then Joel got together with Kieran Darcy Smith, who he went to drama school with, and wrote this short. And so that what became the short. So that had an acting scene for them and action stuff for us. Yeah. And we were showing it, and someone said it's a great short film and you should enter a film festival.
Damn.
And so that became the thing. And once we went to a film festival, I think the first decent film festival we went to was in Bathurst. And we met some other filmmakers and saw other short films, and it just sort of created a bug in us where we went, oh, we actually are enjoying this. And it also, you know, the idea of it was to, like, for me and Tony to get stunt jobs and for Joel and Kieran to get acting jobs. Yeah. I think the first job I got from it, someone asked me to edit a music video. Okay. Because I'd edited, they said, who edited the short? Yeah. And I had, because we all had to learn how to do everything to make it, because we didn't have a crew.
Of course.
We were the crew.
Of course. I know that feeling well.
Which was good ultimately. You know? And so, I got that job, and then we played at Flickerfest, and a director saw it there and then cast Kieran, and because we were all in the film, cast Kieran and I to play a couple of thugs on an ABC TV show for an episode. And so we started realizing, making our own stuff does actually create opportunities for us. Yeah, totally. And we had so much fun making it that we just kept making stuff. And so that's how the directing, but it wasn't, I wasn't directing to be a director. I was directing to be a stuntman. But then through the making of things, I started realizing I had an interest in that and maybe a
talent at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. It's so cool as well, because you see a lot more of that these days with the internet, where everyone's making their own opportunities, because so many people feel like, there's just no way to break into these massive industries. I've just got to make my own stuff. But you were literally doing it before it was just making bad TikToks.
Yeah. Well, the access now is so much, 'cause you can film stuff on your phone, or like everyone has access to a camera. Yeah. Back then, like, you had to know someone who had a camera, or like that thing that became our first short film, which was called Loaded. The camera was, the university that Joel and Kieran went to at Nepean. they had a camera there. They just left there, but they knew someone in the year below and got them to borrow the camera.
Genius.
So we put them in the film too. And then
That's so great.
that's how we got it. And then editing it, like prior to that, I'd only really learned how to edit like 2 VHS machines.
Yeah, okay, wow.
And then there was this program called Adobe Premiere, which is now, you know, a consistent thing people use. But I used Adobe Premiere version 1.0
Wow.
to edit the...
And
so
just taught yourself how to use it.
Yeah, and then eventually learned how to use Avid, and that's what I cut on.
Yeah, okay. Far out, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you ever find that you... Like, did you ever have a desire to move to somewhere with a bigger industry, like America?
Oh, yeah, no, I've lived there.
You did live there?
Yeah, I lived
okay,
in LA
okay.
for 10 years.
10 years, holy moly. At what
Yeah.
age?
When did I go? I first started going there with short films, getting into film
Yeah.
festivals. I think the first time I went was in 1999, so I would have been 26.
Yeah, okay.
I first went there to work in 2009, so 10 years later.
Far.
But I'd been a bunch of times.
Yeah, of course.
From film festivals. But then, I got asked, I was doing, in 2000, I did stunts on Star Wars Attack of the Clones.
I saw that.
I was Ewan
That's so
McGregor's
cool.
stunt double. And another friend of mine who was working on it, who I met on that film, Spencer Susser, who is also a director and part of Blue Tongue. He's American. He was the behind-the-scenes guy on the film. We became friends on that. And then when he was making his first feature in LA, he asked me to stunt coordinate it.
Yeah,
and that
okay,
was
wow.
how I first got a visa and went to LA. And I probably lived there from then till just before the pandemic.
Oh, wow. Damn.
But I was coming back and forth. Like sometimes
Yeah.
I'd have work
Yeah,
here
yeah.
still,
Yeah.
but I pretty much worked consistently
Far out.
there and other parts of the world.
Yeah, okay. I find, it's obviously very common for people, and I am included in this, to want to go there because there's just so many more opportunities.
We call it taking a shot at the title.
Yeah, okay, I
You go
like
to LA,
that.
you're going to take a shot at the title. Yeah.
Well, I'm doing my first trip this year, so
Yeah, so you're gonna take a
I'm-
shot at the
I'm
title.
going to take a tiny little shot, just dip my foot in the in the shot.
I think it's good to do, just to see what else is out there.
Totally.
And,
Totally. And I mean, going back and forth is a great option, because what I've been getting to now is I don't know, I've moved around, changed cities every few years, but I'm feeling very settled and happy in Sydney and
Yeah.
have a beautiful group of friends. And I'm like,
But you can always come back.
I know, but it does upset me because I always wanted to live there for a good chunk of time.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, man, all my friends are here though.
Yeah.
I want to, my partner and I want to get married at some point in the probably next few years.
Yeah.
I'm like, but
You
all
can
my
make
friends
other
are
friends
here.
too.
I know. Did you
And
do
don't have
that?
to you don't have to lose. Yeah, no, I have friends there. I have friends here. Sometimes those friends come here. Sometimes I go there. I didn't cancel my friends here or anything.
Wow, look at you. Man of the people.
Yeah.
Did you find it easy making friends in LA? Because you were working so closely and I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so.
You just make friends with people that you're around all the time, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
Well, now I've realised they probably all have ADHD.
Definitely.
You find people that, and the film, the entertainment industry, I think, is pretty similar everywhere.
Yeah.
Once I'd worked on a couple of things there, like here, once you've been in the film industry for a little while, you realise anytime you go on a film set, there is someone you know.
Okay.
Like you see a familiar
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
You're like, I've worked with that person somewhere. Like it's the circus,
Yeah.
you go. And same, even though the industry's bigger there, the same thing was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd go on a film set, no matter what state I was in, there'll be someone I'd met
wow.
somewhere. And I think because I'd worked here for, when I first started working properly in the US, I'd already been working here for 28 years.
Jeez.
And so many American films had come here.
Yes. Yeah.
Like the Matrix films and Star Wars and Mission Impossible and Power Rangers and Thin Red Line and things like that.
Yeah.
And so when I started working in the States, there would be people that had worked on those films
That's so great.
here.
Yeah.
So I would see familiar people. Like the first bigger job I did was in Boston. This Tom Cruise movie called Night and Day, and there were people I'd worked with here working on that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That
So
really
I'd never been to
helps.
Boston before.
Yeah,
But that was,
yeah, of course. I do find that, I guess, in comedy, it doesn't matter where you're gigging.
Yeah.
You'll find someone that you know, and even in the very rare chance that you don't, it's like you get there at a gig and it's just so easy to talk to anyone because they're like, oh, you do this, I do this. It's the same lifestyle. You know that we're
exactly.
going to get along.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And most people you meet, I think, who are the real deal and passionate about the industry itself, they are excited for anyone who does well. You know,
Of course.
because there's this feeling of like, well, if that person can do it, I can do it.
Yeah, okay.
You know,
Interesting.
I think it's good to like. It's a good thing to remember because, you know, we were saying earlier that everyone comes at it from different walks of life and comes in with different skill set. Everyone's trajectory is different.
Yeah.
Like, you know, some people like take off straight away,
Yeah.
and other people it's a slow burn.
Yeah.
And you know, anyone you meet could you know that you work with, or you. Or they're working for you, you could be working for them.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, totally.
depending on what path they're taking.
Yeah. I mean, it shouldn't be the motivator, but one of the reasons why it's helpful for people to be kind.
Just be nice to everybody.
Just be nice to everyone.
Yeah.
It seems silly to me that anyone should have to think about that as the reason.
Yeah.
Because it's really easy to do, but it's fair.
The other thing that worked for me too was, you know, when I was saying making my own stuff created opportunities. I found, like, when I first made a short, you know, I made after that first one, soon after that I made one for Trop Fest that won, and it won Trop Fest in like 97. And then I would go on film sets and crew who had seen it would say, oh, if you're making something else, you know, we'll help you out.
Yeah.
You know, so then I started having access to people to work on films.
That's
But even when I was when I'd be in other parts of the world, like, because my short films had traveled, if I didn't know someone, they might know something I'd made, or
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
very helpful.
yeah.
That's honestly why I feel like I can never dye my hair, because if anyone has ever seen me do anything, they can remember the red hair. I gotta change it, man. It's a high maintenance hair color.
Yeah, right.
It's so upsetting.
How often do you have to dye it?
Every like 4 weeks,
Yeah, that's a commitment.
right? I'm like, blonde would be easier than this at this point. That's
Yeah.
crazy. It's
I
fine.
didn't even go to a hairdresser for the first 20 years or something.
Oh,
of
I do it
working.
myself.
Well, just because, like, because I was consistently doing stunts,
Yeah.
you just let your hair grow until you get a job,
So
and
they
then
can
they
do
cut
whatever.
it,
Yeah.
cut it to make it look like whoever you're doubling or whatever character you're playing.
Have you ever had been a stunt person for someone who looks nothing like you, and they've just somehow made it work?
Yeah, I guess so, a little bit. But generally, you try. Yeah, they're trying to
Yeah.
make
Right.
you match, whether it's like wigs or
Yeah. Okay.
costume or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, sometimes, like, you know, if you're doing, you want to match physically as much as possible.
Of course.
But sometimes if you're driving a car, you can get away with a little
Yeah.
more.
Right. Okay. I did see. I was just like helping out with coffees and stuff on a set for a Telstra ad once.
Oh, yeah.
And they had a stunt person for the actor who was basically the whole ad. She was riding on a bike and like saying stuff to the camera and whatever.
Yeah.
But for the actual bike riding, they had a stunt person.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really fun. And
Were they a good double for the person?
they were like pretty good, you know, same gender and race,
Yeah.
but pretty different bodies, and I don't
Yeah.
know.
When you're a bad double for someone,
Yeah.
it's quite embarrassing.
Yeah?
So you tend to hide on set as much as possible until you need it.
So
If
no
you're a
one's
good double, it's
staring
no
and
problem, because
comparing.
there's just something when you're a bad double, you feel like everyone's going, oh my God, why is
Yeah.
that person
Yeah, yeah,
doubling
yeah.
that person?
Yeah.
And you still want to get paid and you want the job. So, you know, you go through makeup and wardrobe, and then when you realize you're not a very good double, you like just stay in the shadows.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, I think the double felt fine about it. The actor, she was saying that the double had a better ass than her, so she was like, "I'm fine with everyone thinking that's me." It was silly.
I
But
doubled my brother a bunch.
oh, really?
And there was one film down in Melbourne where there were 3 brother characters, and so there was 3 stunt doubles. And I remember hearing someone go, "That guy's a good double for that guy, but those 2 aren't good doubles for those 2." And someone had to say, "Well, that guy's his brother. That's why he looks so much like him."
Yeah, that's an unfair advantage.
Yeah.
Back to LA quickly. I do find it interesting. Some people think, or at least say, I have heard people always like, "Oh yeah, but LA people, they're so fake and glib, and it's hard to make friends in LA because you never know who's being earnest." But I've heard people say the same thing about Sydney. Like, I'm from Brisbane, so before living here, everyone was saying the same stuff. And I personally feel like that's probably just their, subjective opinions from...
Yeah, well, they haven't met enough people. You find your people.
Yeah, right.
Everywhere you go, if you're open.
Yeah,
to
okay.
it, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like sometimes anyone can feel glib or fake if they're not genuinely interested. Like, I don't know, sometimes
Maybe.
we are presented with people that we don't get along with.
Yeah.
All of us. And I can understand how the instinct could be to just seem like nice and
Yeah, you might have met
distant.
someone in a bad moment in their life or...
Yeah, totally. Or they might just not be the person for you.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, so directing a lot of stuff now. You recently, it was a short film, right, that you directed your daughter in?
Oh, yeah.
How was that?
That was fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's so cute, because I read that she was, like, really keen to do it.
Yeah, she's decided that's what she wants to do.
Yeah, right. And how old? Sorry, 9?
She's 9. So she's the same age. My other daughter, when I made Mr. In Between, my eldest daughter was in Mr. In Between.
Yeah.
She was 9 when I started making that. And so we could, I was like, and that was one of my most fun directing experiences, working with her.
Yeah.
And so now my other daughter has decided she wants to be an actor. And so at the end of last year, I was like, I should just make something with her. Like, because that experience with Chica was so great. I should have that same experience with Zumi. And so I just set out to try and make something with her.
That's
and also,
so cute.
the shorts have always been such a fun thing for me to do. Like, I like the format. I like that they're kind of a pure piece of creativity and that it's not a money-making exercise. It's just like you're making something
just
to collaborate with people. And
that's awesome.
And so, I loved making that with her.
That's so good. I love that it's like at 9 years old as well. It's like the rite of passage in your family. Like my house, we turned 10. We all got a tour of the attic.
Wait, you weren't allowed in the attic before that?
No, I don't know why. It sounds like maybe some weird witchcraft shit going on, but it was a rite of passage. We got taken up. It wasn't even a proper attic. It was just the insulation in the roof, really. But in your family,
was it a letdown once you actually saw the attic?
No. I was excited. I figured there might be bats and scary stuff, and my imagination was still very much intact, so I liked it.
Yeah.
But that's a great family tradition. Turn 9 in this household.
You get directed by your dad. Like, it's funny because I get extremely nervous directing my kids, because like I want it to be a good experience for them. I want them to be good in it because I don't want people thinking I've cast them just because they're my kid either,
Yeah, of course.
Which definitely wasn't the case with Chica and Mr. In Between because it was a professional job and I'd auditioned so many kids and just couldn't find someone who could do it.
Damn, really?
And then my wife was like, why don't you try Chica? I'm like, because she's never acted before. If she's no good, I'm not going to cast her. And then I've rejected her.
Oh, that's going to suck.
And we're living in the same house,
That's so awkward.
And she's like, well, you don't like anyone else you've seen.
Yeah.
So I tried her out.
And, right.
And her audition was so good.
How much did she know about the actual show? Because if any listeners haven't seen Mr. In Between, first of all, watch it.
It's not a kid's show.
No, it's not a kid's show.
She didn't know too much at that point. But so many of her scenes were based on interactions her and I had. Because
Yeah.
I would tell Scott, the writer, an actor, about stuff that would happen with me and her, and he's like, "Oh, we should put that in the show."
That's
and so,
awesome.
you know, there's a scene where she finds out whether Santa's real or not,
Yeah.
and that is based on my interaction with her.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Damn, that's awesome. I'm always so fascinated about kids finding out if Santa's real because I don't remember ever finding out.
Yeah. You
I
saw
still
that?
think he's.
Well,
No.
Still could be.
No, I think it's just because I'm a youngest child, so.
they just forgot
I
to
think
tell
so.
you.
I figure, I don't know, my older siblings must have found out and then I just kind of knew. I don't know. There's no memory, but I hear all these stories about kids having actual conversations and, you know, the moment when they knew, and
Yeah.
some adults who are like, that's when my world was shattered. That's awesome that's real. Damn. Okay, so, but they're all based off, or a lot of it's based off of your real interactions.
Yes.
Did she later find out the rest of the context of the show?
Oh, she's seen some of it.
Yeah,
not
okay.
all of it, but
Damn.
she's seen a bunch of it. But yeah, she's like nearly 17 now.
Yeah, okay, wow. Okay, well, that's
Yeah.
very normal.
And she
then.
has friends that have seen it now.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know.
How do they feel about having a public father?
I don't know. I haven't really asked them
Yeah, right.
that. Yeah.
I think that Australia is very unique in the way that we treat people with notoriety and fame. It's very casual,
Yeah.
you know?
But most people don't know who I am. I can, like, you know, it's
Well,
not like
yeah.
I'm on camera all the time.
But even like, I mean, Ben Lee's a great example.
Yeah.
You see him just walking down the street. I remember before I first met Ben, he was coming on to do an interview for a magazine I worked with.
Yeah.
And the day before, and I was excited, you know. I was like, oh, Ben Lee, I know Ben Lee, this is great. But the day before I saw him just walking around Newtown, and, you know, you see a couple of people like recognize him, but it's so casual.
Yeah.
Australians are so casual. We could see the Prime Minister and we'd just be like, hey, what's up?
It's good.
I
Get
think
some
it is
good out of
good,
it, yeah.
especially for like for kids in families like yours, you
Yeah.
know. I think it makes it a lot more normal.
Yeah.
It's cool.
For sure.
Yeah.
Ben actually did a song for the short.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
Aw.
He's done music for a bunch of mine.
Yeah.
films.
Yeah. So you get to work with a lot of friends pretty often, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've directed music videos for
Yeah.
him, and
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Weren't you working on, or were you going to work on, or did you do one for Cameron James as well?
I wanted to do one
Wanted
for
to
him.
do one. Wow.
I wanted to do a video for Medium Dick,
Yeah.
which still hasn't happened.
You gotta make it happen.
Yeah.
What's
we were going
the-
to, but then he had some like
Oh yeah, he's
stuff happen
fair
in
enough.
his life.
What's the vision? I'm picturing a not safe for work video.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to give away the concept if I haven't done it.
Fine,
yet,
that's fair.
yeah. But it's
That'd
fun.
be cool. Yeah, I bet, man. Music videos would be so fun because I mean,
Yeah.
I guess it's similar to a short, lengthwise.
Yeah.
Obviously.
That's how I met the night I met Cameron. He sang that song
Yeah.
at one of Ben's
Oh yeah.
like the first Weirder Together sort of. Did you ever go to one of those?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's so cool. And so what? You heard the song and you were like,
Hey, it was so funny. So
this
that's
is
how I met him,
perfect.
and then he was talking about doing videos for some of
Yeah.
the songs.
Yeah, they're awesome. I hope he makes a lot more.
Yeah.
Devastated he didn't win Hottest 100 this year.
Did he get on?
No. But he was campaigning
Yeah.
strongly.
Yeah.
I think it is time to play a few sleepover games.
Okay.
It's a little segment that we do here in the Blanket Fort.
Did someone just notify you that it was time?
No, I just have a really good sense of
Yeah,
these
right.
things.
Okay.
I think because of doing comedy and like having to know how long 10 minutes is, 7 minutes is, an hour is.
Don't they just put a little red light?
They do
to
at
let you
some
know?
places, but not everywhere.
Yeah, right.
It's been almost 7 years now, so it's becoming internalized.
Yeah, right.
this
Your
sort
own
of
little
clock.
red light goes off
Yeah,
inside you.
honestly, I'm like horrendous at time management, but when it comes to recording an hour-long podcast or recording
Yeah.
or doing comedy, I know exactly what the time is. So it's a
That's-
beautiful skill.
Yeah, it's part of the ADHD.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. For sure. It's do you find that, are you late? Are you a late person? I mean, clearly not. You were very early today.
When I was late once to set when I was younger, and it was the worst feeling ever. So anytime I have like a work commitment type thing, no.
Yep,
But
that's great.
Yeah, but other stuff, yes, sometimes. It's
Socializing and
yeah. But generally, I try and be punctual.
that's good.
I have, I have a friend in particular who, like, if you're late, like, they think less of you.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair,
Yeah.
but that it's scary.
Yeah.
I try so hard, and it's helped since I've been medicated for the ADHD.
Yeah.
Significantly better because I have fewer meltdowns
Oh yeah.
while getting ready, but I am a late person often, and it's the worst thing about me.
I haven't tried the medication yet.
Oh, really? Are you considering it?
Yeah, I got it yesterday. I haven't tried it yet.
How
I was
exciting.
going to try it tomorrow.
Yeah. See how you go.
Mm.
It's very exciting.
Is it?
Well, yeah, I mean, when I first did it, I had to ease into it on days that I didn't have any real big stuff on because I was so scared. I was like, what's it going to do to me? But then I got used to it, and it's perfectly fine, and I just feel better.
That's good.
Yeah. Good luck.
Thanks.
All right, we're starting with Would You Rather.
Okay.
You know the game?
I've heard of the game. I've played the game, yes.
Pretty simple.
Yeah.
This thing or that thing. Okay, would you rather, as a director, only ever work with, actually not even as a director, just in general, only ever work with actors or writers?
Oh.
Basically, who's better to work with?
It's tricky because you kind of need...
Of course.
You need them both,
But let's just say, for this hypothetical, someone else's...
I guess I'd say actors because I found that a lot of actors make good writers,
Okay.
but less writers make good actors.
Yeah, right. There's no no, that makes total sense. So many writers I know are terrified of being in front of a camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can also make something with actors with that with ad-libbing.
Yeah,
You
true.
know,
A lot of
without a
improvising.
script,
And chat
if people are
GPT.
good at it. I'm not really into chat GPT yet, but
No, that's good. It's
I like
it's
the
not there yet.
organic process.
Good. But are there any like stereotypes of being easier to work with, actors or writers?
I think it's no. I think it's well. I'm sure stereotypes exist for a reason.
True.
No, again, it's just finding people that you gel with or can collaborate with. You know,
Fair.
for every actor that's a nightmare, there's probably a writer that is too. You know,
Definitely.
and for everyone that's great, there's a great writer to collaborate with.
Yeah, it's a very mature response.
Thanks.
Okay. Taking shorts out of the picture here. Would you rather only ever make TV shows or movies, feature length?
Oh, probably films. That's my
Yeah.
love.
Yeah, right.
That's what I grew up.
Yeah,
loving,
okay.
you know.
Okay. I get that. I'm a
Yeah.
TV girl through
Yeah.
and through.
Yeah.
I love to watch 100
Like I love TV too,
episodes.
but
No, I mean, it makes sense. It's a more succinct piece of art, movies. It's a beautiful thing. And I think, I don't know about you, but I think that there's a level of respect with feature films, you know?
yeah.
Like when you think about TV stars and movie stars, people always think like, oh, no, Angelina Jolie, she's not going to be in a TV show. She's a movie star, you know? There seems to be this strange...
Yeah. There's definitely actors that work well in both.
Of course.
Some feel like they only belong in TV and some feel like they only belong in films. But I think it's shifting. And some TV shows feel like an extended movie.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. In-Between was like that, I'd say. Very cool.
And some movies feel like a long episode of a television show, you know.
Yep. What was your favorite movie as a kid?
Oh, I have so many, but Back to the Future,
Yeah, right.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, E.T., Ferris Bueller's Day Off, those kind of.
Damn, very silly. Because a lot of your stuff is like quite, well, I guess chaotic is a good word for it. When there's a lot of seriousness, but also this comedy aspect and like.
Yeah, I have a dark, fucked up sense of humor.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Did the darkness as well? I don't know. Was that kind of just what you were interested in?
I don't know. I think probably a lot of it's attributed to, like, our mum would, like, she loved, like, revenge movies.
Oh, okay.
And so we got to watch a lot of stuff that probably wasn't appropriate for kids when we were younger. And same with, like, I lived with my nan for a little bit, and I'd stay there a bunch, and she'd always let us watch stuff that probably wasn't appropriate for kids either. So there's probably elements, the darkness probably comes from that stuff.
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
I remember
It was the 80s, you know. Parents let us do stuff that parents now don't seem to, you know. There wasn't really the parent safe guide for movies like there is now.
Oh, look, I think it was even the same still for me in the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah.
I was watching whatever the hell I wanted.
Yeah.
But, you know, you've got a wonderfully creative mind.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so the next game is Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Mm-hmm.
So, speaking of movie genres, Fuck, Marry, Kill, romantic comedies,
Yeah.
fantasies, and musicals.
Romantic comedies, musicals, and
Fantasies.
Mm-hmm. I'll probably marry romantic comedies because they're
Good call.
fuck fantasies and kill musicals.
Damn.
Like, you know, I like a few musicals, but they're not really my
It's not your thing.
jam.
No, it's fair. What's a good one?
Grease.
Grease. Okay. I have been listening to a bit more of the Grease soundtrack lately. Yeah, I've been chucking it on. There's even one of the songs. Oh, God, I'm not going to remember what it was, but I didn't even know it was from Grease because I haven't seen it since I was a child.
Yeah, right.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a bit of a musical nerd myself, but that's just my own flaw. Rom-coms is a great marriage choice, I think. Like A Wedding Singer.
So good.
Oh,
That's got a bit of musical to it, I
that
guess.
it does, you're right. But it's the perfect amount. Just a little bit.
Yeah, and there's a great song where he's half written it before the breakup and half afterwards. That's so good.
It's so good.
Good Sandler.
It's so good. I got to show my boyfriend that when we started dating. He had never seen it. And he was like teary-eyed by the end. We're just holding hands. He's like, I love you. And I'm like, I know. I'm a sucker for a rom-com. To your own projects, Fuck, Marry, Kill, Mr. In Between, Gringo, and The Square.
Oh. Oh, look, I think Mr. In Between was probably, I think, is the best long-form thing I've made. So I'd probably marry that. Fuck The Square, because, like, it was the first thing I got to make.
Yeah.
First feature my brother and I got to make together. And then Kill Gringo, because it was, you know, a complicated experience.
Oh, really? Damn.
But, like, I love that movie. But
Yeah.
It was one of the harder things I've made.
Shit. You want to say why? Or is it secret?
No, I think it just was like I hadn't made a feature in a while, and you know, it was sort of one of the it was the biggest thing I'd ever made at that time, and it was just I just felt a lot of pressure doing it, and we just had a kid, and we're in Mexico, and you know, and it was you know, it was a complicated schedule, and you know.
No, fair enough.
But I like all the actors in it was so great to work with, and all got on super well. So
that's good. That's helpful.
You know, there was a lot of great things about it, but complicated things about it.
Yeah, no, super fair. All right. Great call. The next game's called Bend or Snap. basically, if a friend is like this or does this, does your friendship bend or snap? So are you going to be flexible or is it over? Bend or snap? People who write off entire genres of film and TV.
Who write the entire genre off.
Yeah, they're like, nah, absolutely not. Like you maybe are excited about a new thing you've watched and you start to say it and they go, nah, fuck that.
I could bend on that. Like it's, everyone has their own taste.
It's fair.
Also, people come around once they get tricked into seeing something.
Smart. You got to trick people.
Yeah.
I love that. Bend or snap. A friend who spoils every single movie.
Oh, snap. That's like...
Damn.
You can't be spoiling movies. That's like...
Yeah, it's egregious.
Blasphemous.
Yeah. Okay. Bend or snap. A friend that will not tell you anything about a movie. So let's just say, I want to go to the movies. Okay, you want to see this movie? Okay, great. What's it about? And I go, it's like a good vibe.
Oh, yeah, I don't mind that. Like,
You don't mind that?
I like going into stuff not knowing.
Me too.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, cool. I love that. We can be friends.
Okay.
Because I do annoy my partner a fair bit
By
with
not
that.
telling them what it's
Yeah,
about.
I won't tell anything.
I think it's really... That's one of the best things about film festivals,
Right.
when there's been no trailers for a film.
Yeah, it's the best way to go into everything.
Yeah.
Just completely open. I saw Parasite that way.
Oh, yeah.
That was so fun.
I
Didn't know
bet.
a thing. It was just like, I'm excited. I'm scared.
Yeah,
It's the best way to experience everything.
totally.
Love that. All right. Last game.
Mm.
It's truth or dare.
Uh-huh.
So you can choose truth or dare. If you don't like one of them, you can ask for the other one.
Okay.
It's up to you. Truth or dare?
Oh, I go choose.
Yeah.
Truth.
Do you think I have what it takes to one day be cast in one of your projects? I can't act good. I'm so scared.
Well, look, like I'm Mr. Between. I cast non-actors, real people,
Damn.
inexperienced
Okay.
actors, very experienced actors. I think anyone has the ability to be good on,
It's a very
on
diplomatic
camera.
answer.
It all depends on what
That's so true.
the scenario is and what they're doing.
Okay. All right. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
You don't want to know what the dare was.
You can tell me.
I dare you to cast me in something.
Oh, right. I chose the right one, I guess.
Oh, you did. Because the dares are legally binding.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
right.
sure.
Fair enough.
Those are the rules.
Well, you've recorded it all, so.
Exactly. Thank you so much for coming into the
No
fort.
worries. Thanks for having me.
It's been so lovely. Do you want to tell anyone, do you have anything to plug right now? Do you want to plug the short or your socials? What do you want? What do you want from
I
these
don't
people?
mind. The short film's called Candy Bar. It'll play a bunch of festivals and stuff.
Yeah, awesome.
To start with, it's part of the Flickerfest tour at the moment.
So exciting.
So
Cool.
yeah,
Cool.
but no, I'm not really plugging anyone. I'm not really a
Anyone?
plugger guy.
Jesus Christ. Okay, beautiful. I cannot wait to see Candy Bar. Thank you all so much for listening. I love you.
Thank you.
Did we just become best friends?